Before you even realize what's happening, a fleet so powerful it believed it was chosen by God is already falling apart. Not because it was weak, not because it was outnumbered, but because it refused to turn back. This is the story of the mighty Spanish Armada, a fleet that sailed with absolute certainty, and returned as a warning etched into history. And what you're about to see isn't just a battle. It's the moment pride crossed a line, and destroyed everything in its path. Because the most dangerous thing in war is not the enemy in front of you, it is the belief that you cannot lose. Before we go deeper into this story, subscribe right now to Top 10 Untold, because what you're about to witness is not just history. It is a pattern that repeats in wars, in leadership, and in life. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand something most people never realize. Sometimes, the moment you refuse to turn back is the moment you seal your fate. So stay with us till the end, because this story will change the way you see pride forever. Warning 10. The fleet that trusted pride over reality. They did not come to fight. They came to dominate. A fleet so massive it was believed to be untouchable. A symbol of divine authority, imperial pride, and absolute certainty. The world watched as one of history's most powerful naval forces set sail. Unshaken, unstoppable, and already defeated in ways they couldn't see. This was the mighty Spanish Armada. And this was the moment pride began writing its own destruction. Before we go deeper into this story, if you love uncovering hidden truths of history like this, subscribe now and stay with us till the end, because what happens next is not just history. It's a warning that echoes into our present and future. Now imagine this. A king believes he is chosen by God. A fleet believes it cannot be defeated. A mission is declared divine, not strategic. This is where faith begins, but also where ego takes over. King Philip II of Spain did not send a navy. He sent a statement, a message to the world. Spain cannot be challenged. God is on our side. But that belief, that confidence, that arrogance, it was not strategy. It was blindness. Warning 09. When confidence becomes delusion. The Spanish Armada was not small. It was enormous. Dozens of ships, thousands of men, cannon after cannon. But numbers alone do not win wars. Because waiting for them was something Spain underestimated. A different kind of commander. A different kind of thinking. And a nation that refused to submit. The English fleet, led by Queen Elizabeth I, was smaller. Less armored, less feared, but it had something far more dangerous than size. Adaptability. While Spain relied on heavy, slow ships built for boarding battles, England relied on speed, distance, and intelligence. And most importantly, they understood something Spain refused to accept. The ocean does not care about your belief. It only respects your skill. But Spain was not listening. Because when you believe you are chosen by God, you stop listening to reality. Warning 08. The first crack in the armor. As the Armada sailed through the English Channel, something unexpected happened. The English did not engage in traditional battle. They did not board. They did not surrender. They attacked from a distance. Relentlessly. strategically. And then, they did something even more dangerous. They forced the Armada into a formation that destroyed its own advantage. The mighty Spanish fleet, once proud, organized, and intimidating, became confused, scattered, reactive instead of dominant. But Spain refused to change its strategy. Because changing strategy meant admitting something terrifying. We might be wrong. And pride cannot survive that sentence. Warning 07. The moment pride rejects reality. The English used fire ships. Burning vessels sent into the Spanish fleet in the dead of night. Flames spread across the dark water. Panic spread faster than fire. Ships cut anchor. Formation broke. Chaos erupted. This was the moment the Armada could have retreated. This was the moment survival was still possible. But instead, the commanders made a decision. A decision rooted not in survival, but in pride. They refused to turn back. They refused to retreat, because retreat would mean defeat. And defeat would mean humiliation. And humiliation, to a pride this large, was worse than destruction. So they pushed forward, into danger, into uncertainty, into what they believed was destiny. But destiny does not favor arrogance. Warning 06. The sea does not fear empires. As the Armada moved north, the real enemy revealed itself. Not just England, not just fire, but the ocean itself. Storms, winds, rough waters, ships, massive, heavy, overbuilt, struggled to maneuver. Rations ran low, morale collapsed. Disease spread, and slowly, the invincible fleet began to break. Not in one moment, but in thousands of small failures. Each one ignored, each one dismissed, until ignoring became fatal. Warning 05. When leadership refuses to adapt, Spain's leadership could have changed course, could have regrouped, could have retreated, but leadership blinded by ego does not adapt. It justifies, it denies, it continues, and in doing so, it leads others into destruction. This is where the Armada stopped being just a fleet, and became a warning, because a leader who cannot accept reality will always create reality for others to suffer in. Warning 04. The point where return was no longer possible. The Armada was now far from its original path. Winds had pushed it north. Supplies were dwindling. Ships were damaged. And the enemy had already changed the rules of engagement. Yet still, they did not turn back. Because by now, turning back meant admitting something far more painful than loss. Everything we believed was wrong. And pride cannot survive that realization. So they continued forward, not because it made sense, but because stopping meant collapse of identity. Warning 03. When the environment turns against you, the ships that were once symbols of dominance now became liabilities. Heavy, slow, difficult to control in rough seas. Storms battered them. Some ships crashed into rocks along unfamiliar coasts. Others sank without ever seeing the enemy again. The ocean did not need to fight them. It simply revealed their weaknesses. And that is the true nature of failure. Sometimes, the world doesn't attack you. It just exposes you. Warning 02. The retreat that became destruction. Eventually, what could not be denied happened. The Armada tried to return home. But now it was too late. Ships were separated. Crews were exhausted. Food was gone. And the storms, relentless, of the original fleet, many ships never returned. Those that did were unrecognizable, broken, defeated, not by England alone, but by their own refusal to turn back when they still could. Warning 01. The final lesson: pride kills more than enemies. The Spanish Armada did not fall in a single battle. It fell in a mindset. A mindset that said, "We cannot lose." And that belief destroyed everything. Because the moment you believe you cannot lose, you stop preparing, you stop adapting, you stop listening, and that is when you are most vulnerable. This is not just history. This is today. Nations, corporations, leaders, individuals, all fall into the same trap. We are too big to fail. We cannot be defeated. We are the strongest. But history whispers one truth: the strongest fall when they stop respecting reality. Wars are not won by pride. Businesses are not sustained by arrogance. And individuals are not saved by ego. They are destroyed by it. Final psychological questions. How many times in your life have you refused to turn back, even when you knew you should? Are you building confidence, or feeding ego? And if the moment of truth came today, would you adapt, or repeat the mistake of the Armada? If this story shook you, then don't let it end here. Because history is not just something we study. It is something that is waiting to repeat, unless we learn. Subscribe to Top 10 Untold, like this video, and comment. I will not sail with pride.